Why is passive income a scam? I see so many YouTubers and creators and influencers talking about passive income, about how amazing it is and how you can get rich quick or maybe get rich slowly, but how you can get rich with passive income and how extraordinary it is as a way to make money. I see two problems with passive income that I think are really important for people to know in advance. Passive income is generally only available when you do a lot of work or make a lot of investment in advance that you don't get paid for. And so it means you're actually just getting a payment over time. So another way to look at passive income is income that comes in later rather than right away. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't necessarily do that, but keep in mind, sometimes you're better off getting paid for the work up front rather than creating something and hoping for a stream of income. So passive income, technically, in my opinion, it's not really passive. It may become passive at one time, but initially it's very active. In fact, you're working a ton without actually getting payment for that. It's the payment that comes over time, and it's that later period when there's actually passive income. The second reason I think passive income is misleading is because I have never actually seen where something continues to generate income without somehow being managed. I'll give you an example. The song Happy Birthday is copyrighted, and every year it generates a lot of money in license fees. But think about it. Somebody has to track all those licenses, has to invoice for those, has to send out copyright infringement notices to people who use the song in an improper manner. In other words, while there is a royalty or a license fee being paid for a song that's been created, it's not fully passive. It actually requires a lot of management to keep getting that money in. Now, for the artist who outsources the management to somebody, it may be passive to the artist because they're paying somebody to actually manage it. But is that truly passive income when you're actually having to pay somebody to manage it? People can quibble about that. Likewise, let's imagine you buy real estate. A lot of times real estate is considered passive income, but any real estate needs to be managed. Maybe you have an Airbnb. Well, you have to interface with every tenant who comes in for a short-term rental. Or let's say you own some commercial property. You're going to have to work on the leases for that property whenever they're up for renewal. And when there are problems with the property, you need to hire a maintenance company to deal with those problems. There's ongoing maintenance and expenses associated with maintaining any real estate. Yes, you can outsource that to a management company. Thus, perhaps you could argue it's passive to you. But what I want to point out to people who are considering passive income is that you can't just create something and then totally ignore it and it will just start generating money. It needs to be managed to ensure that you continue to get paid for that. So although passive income is a category in the tax code, that is generally for people who are delegating or outsourcing the management role. And so their particular role truly is passive. And there are some other examples of that. Perhaps one way that is passive is if you invest in the stock market. But as any person who invests in the stock market will tell you, you still probably need to take a look at that and manage that from time to time. There's still some work that's involved. If you put money in an index fund, a mutual fund, it may be able to sit there for a long time and generate some revenue. And that perhaps is the truest form of passive income. But even then, some work is involved. And so the reason I say passive income is a scam is because it involves either a lot of work or money up front, or management over time, or both. And so while one person's role may actually be passive at a specific point in time, substantial amount of work is actually involved. And I think business owners are misled if they believe that they can ever just totally forget about an asset or a business, hoping that they'll just enjoy passive income from that. If you had any questions that didn't get answered, or if you are watching a recording of this, feel free to put your questions in the comments section below. I'd be happy to answer them. If you like videos like this where you can learn about business law and avoid some of the common problems that business owners face as they're growing a company, and if you would like exclusive online educational content for founders and business owners, you can get that at aaronhall.com/free. It includes a checklist of common problems faced by new businesses. It includes videos going in depth into some of those problems so that you are empowered to set up your company for success.